It was a spring that seemed to have never left, the first year of Luna and Leo's lives. Luna was born only a few minutes before her brother, but even so, she had a strong, almost dominant presence over him. Raising cubs in the Arctic is extremely difficult, but after the mother bear had Luna and Leo, her life was no longer so solitary. The two followed their mother all the time, and they would stay like that until they grew up. Leo was more independent, but Luna loved to stick to her mother. She also loved to imitate. If her mother rolled in the snow, she would throw herself in right away too. If the mother stopped walking, Luna would stop with her, cute and funny. Luna didn't know her mother was hunting. She thought it was just a game of statue. But the mother's keen sense of smell helped her find prey hidden beneath the ice. Luna tried hard to sniff too, until suddenly the mother shot forward and dived straight into the ice. Luna, without thinking, threw herself in the same way, right where she was distracted. While the mother was digging into the ice with all her might, the siblings were already fighting with each other. In that early freezing spring, seals were the bear's only prey. But hunting was not easy for the mother. Even when trying her best, she often came up with nothing. She soon found an injured seal. The blood on the ice showed it had already crossed paths with another bear. Before the mother could get close, the seal quickly escaped. But its fate was already sealed. Even while running from the bears, the wound was too severe. It ended up sinking and became food for a Greenland shark. Many times the mother bear's hunt ended in failure, but once in, a while she was successful. When she finally broke through the seal's skin, she immediately began to devour the precious fat. This energy-filled food was what she and the cubs needed most. The sun began to climb higher. The Arctic entered the period of days without night. The ice floes began to melt quickly, so the family had to migrate inland. Luna and Leo faced their first swim. The water was too cold. The two quickly climbed onto their mother's back to warm up. But the mother didn't approve. She dived quickly and left the two behind. Without an option, they had to swim on their own, even without wanting to. When they found pieces of ice, Luna would immediately climb on them, but the mother didn't let them rest that easily. This swimming lesson would continue to the limit. Only when the two were exhausted, the mother would take them to dry land. The broken sea ice was full of obstacles. For those cubs, keeping up with their mother was a huge challenge. After taking them to a safe place, the mother had to go out alone to hunt. The targets were the seals lying on the ice, basking in the sun peacefully. She soon spotted a prey. She held her breath, advanced slowly, but the seal noticed her and escaped, all lost once again. But to feed her hungry cubs, the mother could not give up. She soon found another sleeping seal. The chance was perfect. To not scare the prey, she moved with extreme care. The air was heavy with tension. It even seemed like the wind could ruin everything. After observing calmly, she realized the seal was close to the water and decided to change her plan. Maybe attacking from below would be more successful. But when she emerged again, the seal had already noticed and fled. Once again, the dreamed-of meal slipped away. The disappointment was inevitable. Meanwhile, the cubs were so hungry, they chewed snow as if it were a popsicle. Finally, another seal appeared, distracted in the sun. This time, the mother attacked with firmness, bit hard and gave it no chance to escape. In nature, size often decides survival. The seal's plump body, which seemed like an advantage, in the face of a polar bear's agility and strength became a fatal weakness. A curious contrast between the wildlife and human concerns about weight and diet. Thanks to the seal's sacrifice, the bear family managed to eat. The cubs were once again able to have nutritious milk. When hunting, the mother was fierce, but when caring for her little ones, she showed herself full of sweetness. Nature can be cruel, but it also never fails to show tenderness. Months later, the Arctic sky lit up with auroras. This meant that Luna and Leo had survived their first year of life. When the sun returned, it was spring again. The two were bigger and stronger. In the new spring, they needed to hunt more seals to accumulate fat. Luna and Leo also had to learn to hunt quickly. They couldn't just play anymore like the previous year. They soon spotted a seal resting. The mother ran awkwardly towards the prey, but the seal didn't seem scared. It waited until the last moment and only then dived into the ice hole. It was the typical seal strategy, making bears waste energy for nothing. With the temperature rising, a group of belugas appeared in the sea. These white whales travel every summer to the Arctic as if they were on vacation. It was the first time Luna saw a beluga. She was full of curiosity. For the mother, any animal was potential food. She even tried to hunt one of them. But hunting a beluga was almost impossible. Still, one of them approached, curious. The bear tried to attack it with force, but the beluga was much bigger. Alone, the bear would never be able to win. This was another lesson for the cubs. Even knowing you might fail, you must try. Every summer, the Arctic filled with life. But for the bear family, the heat and the melting snow were a problem. Without their white camouflage, it became even more difficult to hunt. The seals gathered in plain sight, basking in the sun without a worry. The mother tried to approach in silence, but just one look from the seals was enough for the hunt to end before it began. Some even peeked back from the water, as if they were mocking them. In the water, they were much faster than the bears. Frustrated, the mother ended up settling for chewing on seaweed, but Leo didn't even want to try it. He preferred to stay hungry. Not far away, the cliffs were full of seabirds. It was egg-laying season. The mother took the cubs there. She wanted to show them how to get eggs from the nest, but a male bear had already arrived before them. The cliff was dangerous, full of loose rocks that could collapse. Still, the bear risked his life for food. Catching birds was almost impossible, but the eggs didn't run. You could see that Bear was already an expert at this. But half a dozen eggs would not satisfy anyone's hunger. Luna's family didn't manage to get any. But luckily, Leo managed to catch a bird. At least dinner was guaranteed. That summer seemed even more difficult. But luck changed. The carcass of a sperm whale was washed ashore. It was a feast that could sustain the bear for months. However, the animal's skin was too thick, difficult for even her to bite. While the family was eating, an adult male bear appeared. For the safety of her cubs, the mother had to abandon the meal. With his much stronger jaws, the male easily managed to break through the thick skin. Soon, other males smelled it and joined the feast. When they were satisfied, the males relaxed together, even taking a bath, a rare sight to see. Without any dispute over food, they also didn't attack the cubs. Thus, the bear family was also able to eat well and then play happily in the sea. It was pure happiness, perhaps the happiest day of the two cubs' lives. After the whale feast, the bear took the cubs to a new region. Walruses lived there. Different from seals, they were much bigger and had enormous tusks. Luna was scared to see them for the first time. She tried to approach, but soon realized they were much bigger and that the adults were not afraid of her. Only when the mother appeared did the walruses run back to the sea. In the confusion, a cub was left behind, and that sealed its fate. Cruel, but that's how the food chain worked. Either they hunted or they would starve to death. The third spring arrived. It was time for separation. The mother began to distance Luna and Leo until she drove them away for good. The lessons were complete. From now on, they would have to fend for themselves. Before leaving, they looked at their mother one last time. It was possible they would never see each other again. The mother stood still, watching her children leave. Parents cannot take care of their children forever. Sometimes letting go is the greatest gesture of love. Now Luna was already a beautiful adult bear. Leo too. The two played together one last time, running, sliding on the ice, playing hide and seek. Luna dived and disappeared, leaving her brother, scared as he looked for her. Happy moments that wouldn't last long. They would have to go their separate ways. A few days later, Luna walked alone through the endless snow. Suddenly, an adult male bear appeared, following her footprints. Soon, he was right behind her. Scared, Luna went on alert. At first, the male did not show aggression, but suddenly he ran towards her, trying to block her. Luna panicked, preparing to fight, but the male did not attack her. Over time, she realized he wanted to win her over. He accompanied her, watching her play in the snow. Little by little, Luna also began to like him, and so they fell in love. A short time later, the two went to the mountain where Luna was born. There they united as a couple. The following spring, Luna's cub was born, a small and cute little bear. The male left after the gestation. Just as her mother had done, it was now Luna who was raising the cub alone. Life is not just a blood inheritance, it is also responsibility and affection. Each being carries an invisible weight made of effort and expectation. It is precisely this silent dedication that gives true meaning to existence. And so Luna, with the same love she received, continued life, showing that the true legacy is never lost.